In this video, I'll be showing you how to make sourdough with Matthew's Cotswold flour, 8-grain flour and 7-seed flour. Because your bread's worth it. Hi, I'm Elaine from Foodboard Sourdough. Welcome back to my kitchen. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I make my sourdough with this fabulous stuff. This is Matthew's Cotswold flour, 8-grain flour. And it's another bestseller for Matthew's, and the reason being because of everything that's in it and the taste it provides. So just to give you a little sneak peek, we've got a lovely flour here that includes some wheat flakes, rye flakes, oat flakes, maize grits, linseed, millet and sunflower seeds. So that's the collection that we've got within this flour, which if you like any kind of seeded bread or something with some extra texture, it's so good. And why we're doing a video about it? Because it just needs a little tempering when you use it. So we're going to be talking about this flour, but also just to show you another version, very similar, is the organic 7-seed multigrain flour. So similar, we've got similar things in it. We've got the rye flakes, the oat flakes, the linseed, organic barley flakes, wheat flakes. But this behaves a bit differently from that one. And this is the one that's available in the States. So I wanted to make sure that we covered both. And what you'll see here is this array of loaves that I've made to show you. So this has been made with just this flour, just 100% of the 8-grain flour. But you need to use less water. So that's what's going to come across from this video. The main tips are going to be, if you want to use it 100%, it needs less water. But let's just show you inside. Have we got this, James? Am I holding it in the right angle? Good. Look at everything that's inside it. So it's worth doing, and it's worth going through the stickiness of what the dough creates, because this is what you get and it's good. But also, it works well if you're mixing it with other flours. So this is the same flour. It's 200 grams of the 8-grain with 300 grams of strong white bread flour. So you can see it's lighter in colour, but also it helps you spread using the flour a bit more, but you also don't need to make the same amendments to the dough. So I'm going to show you that one. And then this is using the 7-seed flour. So this is the 200 grams of the 7-seed flour and 300 grams of strong white bread flour. So this flour is also available in the UK as well, but just between the two, that's the one that's in the States. But you can see quite a difference. You can see a difference in colour, slight difference in texture. The flavour will be very, very, very similar. And also, just as something different, because I also put some together with some whole grain spelt. So I don't have a dough to show you for this one, but this is using the 7-grain flour with some whole grain spelt instead. So this is 200 grams of the 7-seed flour with 300 grams of whole grain spelt flour, which you can see has therefore helped it have some shape. So if you were trying to make a loaf that was 100% whole grain spelt flour, it might struggle a bit to hold its shape, but because you're mixing it with the 7-seed and you've got all those seeds and grains in it, is what helps give it its shape. But it's a sticky dough. So these are what we're talking about today. Not that one, because I made that one as an extra. But these are what we're going to talk about. And what we're going to be able to show you with the dough is how they behave differently, so that when you take them into your kitchen, you know what to expect. Because if you just pick up a bag of this and think that you can just stick 100% of it into a bowl with the full amount of water that I would use, you're going to end up with quite a sticky mess. So very much along the same lines as our previous video where we're talking about Cotswold Crunch. If you haven't found it yet, do have a look. It's worth some amendments when you start using it. You can always build up from there, but this is what we're going to be talking about today. Obviously, James is in the room salivating over the loaves, wondering which one he's going to take home. We'll see how well he does on this job, won't we? So let's get some dough out and let's show you what they look like. What I've got here, just to really show the difference between the flour, is a bowl of dough that I've made using 100% strong white bread flour. So this one I've made with Churchill's. This bowl of dough I've made using 100% of the 8 grain flour with 325 grams of water. And this one is a bowl of 100% of the 7 seed multigrain flour with 325 grams of water. And the texture and feel of these is so different that I'm going to make James come and handle them. So if you missed the Cotswold Crunch video, you'll have missed seeing me force James to come on the camera. So I'm doing it again because to me, I think if you've got someone that's not used to handling the dough, be able to tell immediately and talk about the feel of it. Plus, he's watched me do this for so long that I think it's just fun to get him coming and doing it. James, if you'd like to join me. He's already washed his hands and checked himself in the mirror.
Hello again.
Hello again. Right, so what I want you to do, okay, this is a bowl of dough that's in the process of proving a bit, okay, right. Made with 100% strong white bread flour, 325 grams of water, okay, so this is my main standard master recipe. And all I want you to do, you don't need to do anything particularly precious with it. All I want you to do is, like I do with your kind of thumb and forefingers, is grab a bit and stretch it across. Okay, so we're going to pretend you haven't seen me do this 1,000 times, and you should know exactly what you're doing. You should know exactly what you're doing.
But nice ball.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. You got it. But the aim is, because I want you to be able to feel the difference between the texture of this dough and these.
Right. Okay.
Do we help explain what it's going to be like for the person at home?
Doughy.
Yes. But there'll be a difference, all right? So just grab some and stretch and pull it across the bowl. You can pull it into a ball if you want to. That's it.
How deep do I go? Oh, it's more sticky.
It's not too sticky, so stretch it right up. Can you see how extendable it is?
There's a lot of elasticity to that.
Yeah, a lot of elasticity. So that's it. Tuck it right across. Yeah, so as you come up, push it in and tuck it right across. That's it.
Right, into the middle.
Right across the other side is fine. Yeah, that's it. Try not to kind of grab huge handfuls. Okay. And really tuck it in. Don't be nervous with it. All right. So remember all the things that we've ever done. You can be forceful and tight with this dough. But the key thing I want you to see is how smooth it becomes.
It is.
How much you can really stretch it.
It's like chewing gum.
Yeah.
There you go. It's like kind of a gummy.
Yeah. So and actually it's not that sticky now that you're handling it more. And look how smooth it becomes. So give it a couple more.
So what you do, you're quite violent with it. You're like, get
yes,
in there.
Yeah, which is what you get to in the end. All right, so this is what happens if you start picking up too much. The whole ball comes. Okay, but that's fine.
Just a bit like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's separating now.
Yeah, because we're getting a bit. So this is getting to the point where you can't do it anymore. It's telling you to stop. All right, so just pick it up and show the camera so we can see. Look, see that smooth ball of dough, right?
Smooth.
Nice and smooth, easy to handle, not much on your hands. That is you creating your first ever nice tight ball of dough. Look at that. See, it's nice to play with, isn't it? Luckily, I'm going to do
therapy dough.
Yeah, luckily I'm going to do more with that later. So I want you to remember how that felt, and how it behaved.
Yep.
Okay, so don't worry about that. So let's get rid of that one. No, you're fine. Let's get rid of that. I'll deal with that later. So for you to see and feel the comparison, okay, this is a bowl of dough that's been made with 100% 8 grain flour.
Right. And
you'll be able to feel the texture of it, okay, but you'll see how differently it behaves as you start to work with it and you start to pull it. So have a little go, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little bit firmer. Obviously the texture's blatantly different because it's full of seed.
Yeah.
It's got a bit more resistance to it.
Yeah, so it's tighter because you've got all the stuff in it. At this point, actually, it's not too sticky. And you're doing a good job. Can you feel the difference in it? You feel the texture in it?
See, now it's stiffening up a lot quicker.
Yeah. So it's going to come into a ball a lot faster. Now this has got the benefit of the fact it's got bread flour in amongst it with all of that other stuff.
To move.
Yeah. So it's very quickly going to come into a ball. And look at that. Look at everything that's in it.
Open this camera over. Oh, there we go. I've turned the monitors around this time so I can see it.
Yeah. So you can see what the ball of dough looks like. But you see, when you've got all of that in it, it didn't grow as much in the bowl.
No.
Yeah, and it's much tighter to work with. Now, because I've used less water, it's not as horrendously sticky as it might have been. Okay. So again, it's not too bad on your hands. Yeah.
Voila.
Voila, look at you. So let's do the comparison then. So this is the one which is 100% 7-seed. Right. Immediately, you can see a difference in the dough. Yeah, you see a difference in the colour.
Yep.
You see that it's smaller. It doesn't tend to grow as much.
Why doesn't it grow as much?
I think just the density of it, everything that's in it. And there's often the way if you've got doughs that have got a lot of stuff in, they don't grow as much as a dough like just 100% strong white bread flour that's lighter, basically.
Right.
So, you know, we're not talking about a light loaf here. If you bake this, these 100% ones.
A much denser bake.
Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this initially because it will spread.
Right. Okay.
So if you want to get a high or you want to get a good result using this flour initially, I wouldn't do this, all right? And we'll show you the difference. So try the same with this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Check my position with that camera. Right. Oh, that's more difficult to get into, and it's really sticky.
Yeah?
It's really...
Look at that. Do you see what I mean?
It's like it's 50% peanut butter or something. You know?
Yeah, a bit, yeah. And look, but also show the camera how much is coming onto your hands. Yeah. So
much more.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't too bad. Your handful you had last time was it, but also
look how much is stuck to the bowl.
Yeah, so
in comparison, it's not lifting it from the bowl as easy, is it?
Absolutely. And it's starting to break up.
Splitting, yeah.
So now you've got more going on your fingers.
Yeah.
So
it's harder to work with by a long shot.
And this is the difference, okay? So this is to explain the difference with these flours. Get to a point where you just stop because this won't come into a smooth ball in the same way.
Is it?
Yeah. So if you just want to show the.
Do I want to try and pick that up, or should I give it a go?
If you want to.
This is just gonna. Oh my word! Look.
Can you see? It's a whole other ball game.
It's like you've made this with Gorilla Glue.
But it makes the point. Look at the texture.
Look at the Look at the texture.
Look at the texture. It's beautiful flour, right? It's really beautiful flour. But if you're going to try using this 100%, be prepared. It's going to be very sticky, even with the less water. And
I may be here sometime.
And if you've got any work that needs doing around the house, you know, bricklaying.
Yeah.
It's worth it. The flavour is good. But it's going to bake to a much denser loaf, and you'll have to bake it in a pan. Yeah, thanks for that. Try it. But this is what the outcome's going to be. So the whole point of these is to show the difference between a standard dough and if you use these 100%. Now, I've also got a couple of doughs that are a mix of these and the strong white bread flour that I will prep for you this time so that James can go and manage the camera. But thank you for that. How do you feel after handling your first set of dough?
Sticky.
Yeah, you do now.
Sticky.
But the first one, you know, if you think about the first one, you know, just
back in a little bit.
Yeah. If you think just how extendable that is, how smooth that becomes.
That's a doddle compared to that.
Absolutely. So this is why.
This is where it feels to me that if I was actually going to start baking, which most people think I should have in the 4 years we've been doing this together, that I should be baking by now.
Really, you should be. And it should be like that.
Starting.
Yes. And that's why I would always tell people when they come to sourdough, start with 100% strong white bread flour.
That wants to play.
That's your win.
Doesn't it?
That wants to play. It's a lovely way to begin. And with these flours, start with small bits, which I'm about to show you. But it's the difference. So Whenever people message me and they ask about what problems with their dough, I will always ask them about flour, which is why we've done those videos, because flour is not just flour. They are going to behave differently, as you've seen. And James is now losing it because he can't cope with the stickiness of his hands.
Yeah.
You can understand now why sometimes I wear gloves.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, I'll let you go and we'll move on.
Use this finger and I'm going to go and turn the cameras off while I wash my hands.
Thank you again. Thank you. Little top tip we thought that we would just share with you, seeing as this is what we just did. So you saw how much sticky flour James had on his hands. So before he put all of that down my sink, what I've done is make him stand over the bin and sprinkled rice flour on his hands so that he can rub his hands together and use the texture of this to help rub off a load of flour before then washing his hands. So it makes a difference, doesn't it?
It's a big improvement before, because I think there's a big, what was I saying to you, the concern of it clogging up
you don't want all that dough going down your sink as much as possible. So if you use some rice flour, or you can do it with semolina, give it into your hands, give them a good scrub so that you kind of wash with it before you then wash your hands. And also it will help your skin to be nice and smooth. You're basically exfoliating your hands.
Lovely.
We just thought we'd share that tip with you. Anyway, moving on. Before we move on, just to answer the question of what am I going to do with this dough that will come up. Yes, I've tidied up the bowl a little bit. Because it is so sticky, I have baked a dough like this on its own, free form, and it will bake. It won't rise too much, but you will bake and you will get a loaf. It will be quite dense. I'm going to put this into a sandwich loaf pan so that we've got a bit more structure to it and it will help it grow up. So that's what I'm going to do with this dough. This is the 100% 7 seed. But what we're going to do now is prep. These are the 2 doughs that we've got for bannetons. So in this one, look at that. You see how much more it's grown. So in this one, I've got 200 grams of the 8 grain flour and 300 grams of the Churchill strong white bread flour. So you can mix this with whatever strong white bread flour you've got. It can be that one or the one in the black and white bag or whatever you've got at home. And this one, you can see again the slight difference in colour. So this has got 200 grams of the 7 seed multigrain flour with 300 grams of the strong white bread flour, and they've both got 350 grams of water. So full amounts of water. And I was going to prep these for the bannetons, but I think I'll do one and we'll make James do the other. Because why not? And because we think it's useful learning and showing someone else handling the dough, so it's not just me. And you'll see the things that you probably do in your kitchens when someone else is doing it. So I'm going to let James have this one because this will be a smoother one to work with. I'm going to prep this one for the banneton and then we'll get him over to do this one. So we've got our bannetons. So we've got the wood pulp bannetons that I use. It's already got a bit of rice flour in. We're just going to add a little bit extra. Are you watching? Are you concentrating?
Yeah, I'm trying to film and pay attention. I'm trying to bank all this.
Honestly, I think he's just trying to make excuses. So exactly the same as we always do, handling wise. Want to pick it up and bring it across. So look at the difference. Because this is a mix of the 7 seed and strong white bread flour, look at the difference between that and the one you've just seen, which was the 100% of this. So this comes over a lot easier. Still a bit sticky, but a lot easier to work with. So this is how I would suggest you start using this flour. Use it in small portions. Use 100 grams of it or 200 grams of it in your dough. Remember, we're being firm, pushing the dough into itself to create that lovely ball so that we can place this into the banneton. Got all the seeds in it. Reckon you can do that?
Doddle.
So he says. So that's going to go in the banneton. little bit of rice flour over the top. Hat back on, and it's going to go into the fridge. Give us a second and James will be joining me. James, no pressure or anything, but this is a beautiful bowl of dough that I have carefully created that I've been nurturing for like the last 24 hours or so.
I did see you whispering to it earlier.
Yeah. So, you know, this is now going to be in your hands. So we're going to do exactly the same.
Right.
You're going to feel a massive, massive difference between this dough and the other ones that you handled.
Right, okay.
Okay.
So, sorry, what one's this again?
So this has got 200 grams of 8-grain flour, okay?
Yep.
And 300 grams of the strong white bread flour, all right? And your aim is to pull it into that nice tight ball to get it into the banneton. So I'm just going to get an extra little rice flour in there.
What's doing that bit?
Oh, sorry. Why do we put rice flour in the banneton, James?
So that it helps, so the dough doesn't stick to the banneton. So when you tip it out, it separates nice and easy without it stringing and sticking to it.
Well done, top marks. You actually listened.
I did pay a little bit of attention.
Yeah, you listened to some of it. All right then, so go. What we want to do is the same action again. So don't be, I see a lot of people when they first do this, they go in with a whole hand.
Yeah, you tend to go with just 3 fingers, don't you?
Yeah, if you go in with your whole hand, you end up turning the whole dough over in the bowl and you won't be able to shape it. Right. So, that's it. Pull it right across. Take it further across the bowl. Up and right across. That's it. And really push it down at the other end. Push it again, harder against itself. That's it. See all the bubbles coming up? Push it against itself. That's it. Look at you. That's it again. Push it right. Yeah, put it right against itself. Okay.
Starting to get a bit more difficult
yeah,
now.
So you can probably only got one more that you can do on this because the dough's telling you you're done because you can't really push against it anymore. Yeah. So what have you got? You got a nice ball there. Stop pimping it. Look at that. Yeah?
Good ball.
Nice ball of dough.
Good ball.
Yeah. So nice and gently into the banneton. You're in. Let go and look at your hands. Look at the difference.
Yeah.
Look at that. Do you want to sprinkle rice flour over the top?
Little gentle.
Look at you. Do you want to put the shower cap as well? You're doing the whole thing.
I'll be eating this later as well.
You think? Well done.
Should we make sure that the shower cap
you
doesn't
don't need to
sit
worry
in contact
about
with it?
that. No, that's fine. It's not a problem. These shower caps, apart from anything else, they've got a bit of a kind of waffly finish to it, so they don't stick to it.
Okay.
But anyway, it doesn't matter because it will come away. And the point of the shower cap is that we're keeping it covered, but also we're helping it to grow. And why does the shower cap sometimes have moisture underneath it?
Condensation just from
That's it.
The warmth in the room and the...
Yeah, because the dough is still fermenting, so you end up with some condensation sometimes underneath the shower cap. You're doing really well after all these years.
Are we done with me?
We're done with you. Thank you very much. You can go back to where you're more comfortable. Right, that one is going to go into the fridge, and I've got some others I've made. We're going to turn out and score them, and they're going to go into the oven. Well done, top man.
Okay, rolling.
We're back here with a dough that I made earlier. So this one has got 200 grams of the 8-grain flour and 300 grams of strong white bread flour. It's been sitting in the fridge for a few hours. So what we're going to do now is turn it out to put it in the oven. Turn it out, score it to put it in the oven and get it baking so that it produces a lovely loaf like this. So as we made James do this in the last video, I won't make him do it again in this one as he breathes a huge sigh of relief. So usual thing, we've got our banneton, paper over the top. She says, pan over the top of that, and we're turning the whole thing out. So doing it that way rather than just trying to tip it into the pan so that we're looking after the shape of it, makes it a lot better. So we've got a lovely dome of dough. See how nice that is. It's always a pleasure. We're just going to score nice and deeply. Remember, if you're doing it like I do, we're just going into the middle. Look at that. What a joy to score. We're going to put the lid on, stick it in the oven. So that's doing my usuals, going in a cold oven, going to do a cold oven start, baking at 220 centigrade, fan or 425 Fahrenheit in a convection oven, and it's going to be 55 minutes from a cold start. And in we go. I'll be back with another one. Back again. This dough has got 200 grams of the 7-seed flour and 300 grams of strong white bread flour. I've made this as an oval for the sheer fact that I've only got 4 round ones and 4 oval ones, Banneton wise, but also it shows you something different. So you can see again the slight difference in colour between using this flour and that one. Again, paper over the top. Pan going over the top of that, and over we go. We're lifting off our Banneton, and there is our nice firm dough. Look at that, James.
Lovely.
It's nice, isn't it? So with this one, because we're scoring this for the oval, just going to score all the way across that line. It gives you a guidance line. We're going in at the bottom. We're just going to score all the way across. And then that's going to be lid on and in the oven, exactly the same as the last one. And just as a tip, I don't have this dough to show you, but when I made this, which was 200 grams of the 7-seed with 300 grams of the whole grain spelt flour, that was a lovely dough to score. Made quite a firm dough. And it's, I mean, you can see the shape of it is slightly different from the ones with the strong white bread flour, but it was lovely to score, I have to say. And I need to check, but I think I did use less water in that one, but we'll write that up. So that is lid on, and in we go. Okay, so any second now, look, as if by magic. First loaf is ready to come out, so let's show you how this one looks. Excuse me. So this is our loaf with the mix of 200 grams of 8-grain flour and 300 grams of strong white bread flour. Look at that. Look at our loaf, James.
Lovely.
You can't take credit for this one. So we're just going to sit that there briefly. Is that going to be in the way if I get the other one out?
No, it's all good.
Okay. And then we're going to take the other one out because I only put the one timer on because I knew it would be ready to come out. So this one that's coming out now is going to be our loaf, which has got 200 grams of this and 300 grams of the strong white bread flour, but this one is the oval. So let's try not to trip over the dog. Here we go. Are we ready for the grand reveal? Da, da, da. Look at that! Look at that. Look at that, James. You see all that texture in that loaf. That's a happy, happy loaf. Right, I'm going to take these out of their pans and then we're going to score the next one to go in. And then we're going to have a little taster session. So be right back. This, fresh from the fridge, is our 100% 8-grain dough. So this is one of the others that I've nurtured, especially to be able to show you scoring it. So again, paper over the top, and for everybody that's going to ask, these are siliconized paper cake tin liners. They're 20 centimetre diameter. I use them about 4 or 5 times before they become a bit too crispy and they start to break up. Pan over the top, and over we go. Look at that. Nice firm ball. So remember, this is 100% of this with 325 grams of flour. So we've got a lovely firm dough to score. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how lovely sharp the lines are. And yes, I always tend to turn it over and use it the other way up. Look at that. You can already see within those cuts, you can see the texture, you can see the dough, you can see the work of your starter. Look at that. So that is going to go in, make sure it's not a hot one, that's going to go into the oven, and that is going to be the loaf that ends up turning out like this beauty that we're going to make James try in a second. So force him to try. So this one's going to go in the oven. Because the oven's already been on, I'm going to bake it, same temperature, 220 degrees centigrade fan, 425 Fahrenheit convection, and it's going to go in for 50 minutes because the oven's already been on. In we go, we shall return. James,
Elaine,
I'm forcing you to taste some stuff again.
Oh no.
Okay, so that we can forcing you so that you might be able to tell our listeners a little bit about how it tastes, but I think this is going to be more about texture. So this here, she says, this one, okay, this is our 100% 8 grain loaf, all right, 100% of that. So which is why you've got lots of lovely stuff in it. We've got a little bit of balsamic vinegar or glaze in front of us, which is smelling really, really strong. So take a bit, just take a bit from the middle and just...
It's quite dense bread, isn't it?
Yeah, just try it on its own initially because I want you to get a taste for... What do you think?
Moist.
And that's
Much
only...
denser than what we're used to.
Yeah, and that's only 325 grams of water. So it shows you how it comes out, that it is still quite a moist loaf.
We'll try with a bit of this balsamic on it. Give that a tickle.
For anybody that likes a seedy loaf or wants a bit more texture in it, and it is, even though it's got the 325 grams of water, it is still quite a moist loaf, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's not lost any of it in the bake, is it?
No, not at all.
You might have thought that less water would come out a little drier. It retains it well.
As a comparison then,
Okay, here we go.
so this is your same again, which is your 8 grain, but this is mixed with the strong white bread flour. So you should find...
Don't leave me.
This one is a little bit lighter, but look at the colour difference as well. So you can see the difference in colour between the two because this has got the extra white.
The moistness and the consistency is
Similar.
pretty similar.
You just don't taste it as strongly.
No.
But you've got those bits of texture coming through.
But it's nowhere near as strong as it was with the...
No, because it's diluted with the strong white bread flour.
This is such a hard part of my job, you know that?
I apologise.
I get up in the morning and
I have to force you to do this.
I dread coming and doing these shoots, honestly. I have to drag myself, oh no, got to go and eat some sourdough.
I'm going to be forced to eat bread. Yeah. He's not liking it so much, I'm making him come on screen now. But, you know, it's the sad parts of your job. So this one then, this is the 7 seed. So this is the mixture of the 7 seed flour with some strong white bread flour. And don't worry, this bread isn't going to go to waste. He'll eat the rest of it.
Colour-wise.
Yeah, colour-wise similar. But colour-wise, if you think, it's very similar to the 100% 8 grain, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sits in between the two. To my eye.
So this is the one that you've got in the States, available now in the States if that's where you are. But we do also have it available here in the UK. That's my neighbour out in their back garden.
So do you mind? We're filming high quality content here.
Well, you know, that's what you get when you live in the countryside, big gardens.
I mean, for people who really are consider themselves flour aficionados, and like, you really dive deep into the world of sourdough and follow all of your content, I think they're going to find it really interesting trying out these different flours.
Yeah, and the
different
taste,
bakes.
the taste between them is only subtle. Oh, but it's so good with all the extra seeds in. So as something completely different, this is the one that is a mix of 200 grams of the 7-seed, 300 grams of wholemeal spelt flour, or whole grain spelt flour, and 320 grams of water. Now this is a whole different beast.
That's like,
because this is going to be a lot denser.
not only is it dense. I mean, I think it's a lovely dense bread in itself.
Yeah.
Like a nice base for something. But I think if you were to leave that out on the side for a day, this could also double for like home defence.
It's not that heavy.
It's a heavy bread.
It's a whole grain bread. It's so rude.
In a positive way.
Well, I hope
Not
you
rude,
coming
right?
back.
No. This is good. This is like a hearty bread.
Try it on its own before you put it in there, because you'll also get a bit more sour with it because it's got the whole grain flour in it.
Dare I say, I think I like this best out of all of them. Even though I like seeded bread.
Yeah.
Really like seeded bread.
Yeah.
But flavour-wise,
Yeah, and that's because
this has got a much nicer flavour.
that's because you've got the whole grain spelt with it.
Imagine it's been really filling.
And because the spelt is such a nice flavour anyway, but because it's whole grain, it brings out more of the sourness of your sourdough.
Would this go well with soup, do you think?
Oh, everything goes well with soup. Bread always goes well with soup. In fact, we can test the theory in a minute if you like.
That would be super. Right, that's my dad joke done, I'm off.
Well,
Sorry.
that's all from us. We hope you've enjoyed the video. We hope that you give the flowers a try. We hope you like them. So it's farewell from me. And it's a farewell from him.
Oh no. Oh no, we didn't.
Thank you very much for watching. We hope that you find this useful. And do check out our other videos as well. See how the different flours work. But go and get seedy. Thank you very much for watching.